How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about BBIG. It ended up having a slight pullback inside of the market. Yes, it was able to close right at the $3 level, but we ended up testing a low of $2.95. So of course, this does change the course of everything, and I want to make sure I keep you guys updated and inside of the loop. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for BBIG. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $3.01, being down 1.31%. On the low, it tested $2.95, and then on the high, testing $3.11. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 16.548 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 33.926 million shares. So one thing we noticed right away, we did have below average volume on the day, and of course this had an impact on the stock. Now when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it is at 47.41. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 100-day, the 200-day, the 21-day EMA. And as you can see here, we just closed above the 50-day. It is at $2.99, and we close at $3.01. So far what it's looking like, you can see that we have been pulling back. So like I said in the previous video, if we do decide to do that, then of course we want to see how well we could hold up right around this $2.88 area. If we break through $2.88, this is where we can start coming back down all the way to around this $2.65 area. So that is just one thing you're going to want to keep in mind. As far as her reversal, seeing some strength, we know we do have some resistance here at the 21-day EMA, which is around $3.17. We ended up seeing a high of the day at $3.11. So like I said, getting a movement above that can help, but then again, we have that resistance right around $3.30, and of course that resistance that I've spoken about right around $3.50 and as well as $3.60. So it's definitely going to be a difficult time for BBIG if we don't have that volume that we're used to be getting. So that's why I'm saying things are looking bearish, and to keep an eye on it if it does decide to pull back, because it could provide an opportunity for another re-entry. So now let's move on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for BBIG. As we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So we're going to take a look at the recent filings for February the 8th. So we see here we have Swiss National Bank that purchased 211,900 shares, and then we see Main Street Financial Solutions LLC that purchased 21,841 shares. So now when we take a look at the short interest, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 53.92%, and then for the dark pool short volume being just over 7.18 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 25,000, updated 23 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 74.50. And then when we take a look now at the short volume, we can see for the close of the 4th, it was at 40.51. And then for the close of the 7th, which was yesterday, it's at 53.92. So what does this tell us? BBIG does have short squeeze potential, and why I'm saying it's very important we have more buying volume coming into the stock. So now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for BBIG. So we see here on the inflow, it's at 9.08, And then on the outflow, it's at 10.26. When we take a look at the breakdown, on the large, it was 0. On the medium, it was 6.38. And then on the small, it was 2.70. Taking a look at the outflow side, we can see on the large, it was 0.68. On the medium, it was 6.77. And then on the small, it was 2.81. Overall being that outflow day. And then when we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, February the 8th, it being that outflow of 680.08, so 680,000. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders, it tends to represent the retail side. We had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the large, represent whales, institutions, our funds, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look now at the turnover ratio, it was at 12.18%. So again, it's getting better for BBIG, I must say. Many are holding on to their positions, but one thing to be aware of, there's still a good amount of traders that are going in and out of this play. And another point to bring to your attention, be aware of the volatility we also had inside of the market. So now let's go into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for BBIG, one thing that was very clear on the day, we did not have the volume that we are used to. And as long as we have low volume, we're going to continue to see a pullback inside of this stock. Like I was saying previously, we ended up testing a low at around $2.95. So going into tomorrow, don't be shocked if you see us testing around the 280s. And max pain is right around $2.65. And this is where I feel where we can pick up a lot more buyers wanting to jump in so they can ride this momentum back up. Another thing to be aware of are the resistance areas. So if we end up seeing some strength going into tomorrow, of course we need to get above $3.30. And then on top of that, being able to get above $3.60. Again, this is only going to happen if we have buying volume. So this is very crucial. You can keep an eye on this by taking a look at what's happening in the pre-market and then see how the price is moving as we go into the open. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership, we do see a good amount of activity that is happening in regards to buying and as well as closed positions. So that's just one thing that you want to know about. But one thing we do see, there is interest on the institutional side. And we've been seeing this on the order flow on previous days when I've done some videos. Also, taking a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential. But one thing we have noticed as far as for the short borrow fee, it has been declining. So it's now in the 70% area as opposed to where it was yesterday being at that 80% area. So with all of that said, please keep an eye on the overall market conditions. We have the 10-year yield that has been spiking. It looks like at this rate, it's trying to get to around 2%. And if that does happen, you're going to continue to see these tech stocks having a hard time in the market. A lot of money is going into plays that have shown to be proven businesses. And what I'm talking about the Apple, the Googles, and so forth. Of course, Facebook is dealing with quite a pullback right now since due to their last earnings report. But again, just be cognizant of that. A lot of money is going into profitable companies that are having strong guidance. And when we take BBIG into consideration, it's still a volatile play and there's not as much confidence as it is with those other big cap plays. So this is why many stocks that are in this category are going to have a lot of volatility, and I want to make sure that is something that you're prepared for. So I hope you enjoyed this video and we'll be talking real soon.